So here we are. This is lesson 10 of the 10 lesson series, level B1, and this is the last one. If you haven't seen the previous lessons, do go back after watching this one. Go back to lesson 1 and watch them all through. Or if you've missed any of the videos, please watch them so that you have the whole 10 video series, and that'll be awesome. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep you up to date with all the latest videos. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up at the point that you really like it. Maybe at the end when you've watched it all. So we're going to talk about something important in the context of travel experiences. Past simple and present perfect. Past simple, present perfect. So if you know how to use these two grammar types, these two tenses, your English will be so much better. And people will understand you more, you'll be able to express yourselves easier. And so, past simple, present perfect. Now try saying that without getting mixed up. Past simple, present perfect, past simple, present perfect. But that's beside the point. What are they? What is past simple? What is present perfect? Past simple, actions that finished at a specific time, well, it took place in a certain point in time. For example, I ate my lunch at 12 o'clock yesterday. Very specific. I visited Vienna last year. Specific time, last year. Present perfect, however, is experiences that we've had, but you don't specify the time. So you could say, I have visited Vienna. When? We don't know. You have to use the present, the simple past, the past simple to tell us when. But if you say you've done something, you use the present perfect. I have eaten chocolate. I have played the guitar. It doesn't specify a time. It just says what we've done. But we'll come back with more detail to that point after we've done some vocabulary and some examples of the two tenses so that we can see how they fit in to travel experiences. Okay, ready for the vocabulary? We're going to read the word. If we need to explain it, we'll explain it. And then we'll give an example in past simple and present perfect. So, first word, visit. Visit. Simple. It's a regular verb. I visited Vienna last year. I visited Vienna last year. Now in present perfect, I have visited Portugal many times. I have visited Portugal many times. So you see the difference. Go, second word, go. In the past, it's an irregular verb. We went. I went, you went, we went. We went to Austria last summer. We went to Austria last summer. So that's a specific one moment in history, last summer. If we say it with present perfect, it becomes, we have gone to Portugal several times. So there's a difference, isn't there? Something we've done a number of times in our life up to now, or something that happened once in the past, and that's a difference. Visit, go, see. So that's an irregular verb. I saw the Belém Tower in Lisbon. I saw. So that happened. I have seen many castles in Europe. Again, it's not a specific, it's a something that's happened, an experience. I have seen many castles. There's a difference. Stay, stay, regular verb. She stayed in a hotel in Vienna. She stayed in a hotel in Vienna. She has stayed in many hostels in Portugal. Now, we don't have a time thing here, but this is an event that took place in the past, in a moment, whereas she has stayed in many hostels. It's something that happened before now on different occasions. Travel, the verb to travel. We traveled to Austria by train. So that was the journey on the way to Austria. We have traveled around Europe a lot. We have traveled around Europe a lot. So that's not a specific journey, is it? It's journeys that have happened in the past. Experience, to experience something. They experienced a festival in Lisbon. Experienced. That's a regular verb. Nice. They have experienced many local traditions. So a festival was like a one event in a particular time, whereas they have experienced many local traditions that could have taken place during lots of time. Who knows? Fly. Now, fly is an irregular verb. Fly. I flew to Portugal last June. I flew to Portugal last June. I have flown to Austria several times. I like the train better though, apparently. I have flown to Austria several times. Irregular verb, fly, to fly. I flew or I have flown. Past simple, present perfect. You see the pattern here? Past simple, present perfect, the difference that we're seeing. Book, to book something. He booked a room yesterday. He booked a room yesterday. With present perfect, he has booked flights online many times. He has booked flights online many times. The verb explore, that's a regular verb. Good. We explored the streets of Vienna. We explored the streets of Vienna. We have explored many old towns in Portugal. So again, can you see the difference between the two? We explored the streets of Vienna. We have explored many towns of Portugal, or in Portugal. Try, please try. Try, to try. She tried pastel de nata in Lisbon. She has tried many Portuguese desserts. Don't forget, it's not deserts, because that's the Sahara. It's desserts, which is pudding. Good. Important to understand the difference. So, the grammar then. Past simple is when we say when something happened. It doesn't have to be this specific second or minute, but I traveled to Portugal in 2022. You see, a specific time. And we use present perfect when the time isn't the most important thing that we're trying to say. Or when it connects to your life now. For example, I have traveled to Portugal many times. And there's various words we can use in conjunction with the past simple and the present perfect. For example, we could say, we did something yesterday, last year, in 2019, in the 70s. We could say for present perfect, ever. Have you ever done something? It's a question. Never. I have never been to Austria. We can say already. I have already eaten my dinner. Time isn't important, but it's what happens. What happened? I've just met you. Yet. I haven't done that yet. And there's many more words we can use. You can probably imagine a few for both past simple and present perfect. So now I'm going to tell you a story. It is a completely invented story for the purposes of this lesson, just for you guys. It's going to include, look out for past simple and look out for present perfect in the text. So I'll read to you. Relax. Last summer, I was talking with a lady about travel. I asked her, "Did you travel anywhere last summer?" She replied, "Yes, I visited Austria. I stayed in Vienna for a week." I said, "That's wonderful. I've traveled to Portugal many times. Last year I went to Lisbon." She leaned in and asked, "Did you see the famous Belém Tower?" I answered, "Yes, I saw it on the first day." "Have you ever visited it?" She shook her head and said, "No, I haven't. But I have seen other castles and towers in Europe." I asked her, "Did you try the local food in Vienna?" She laughed softly and said, "Yes, I tried schnitzel, but the best part was the apple strudel. It was amazing." I replied, "That's funny. In Portugal, I tried the pastel de nata, the custard tarts. They were delicious." Her eyes lit up. She said, "That sounds incredible. I have always wanted to taste a real pastel de nata." And that's how we shared our travel stories. The lady who had been to Austria and me who had been to Portugal. All using past simple and present perfect. How about that? How's about that then? So let's review some of the key phrases and words that we saw there. Do you see some of the vocabulary we've already learned? Words like visit, go, see, stay, travel, experience, fly, book, explore, try. Did you spot those? Well, they were in there somewhere. And let's go through a few of them. I was talking, no? Did you travel anywhere? Did you travel anywhere? And then I said, I have traveled to Portugal. That's present perfect. Then she asks, did you see the famous tower? That's past simple. Yes, I saw it. Past simple again. Have you ever visited it? So you see that word ever? Have you ever visited it? So that's a question in present perfect. What else? No, I haven't is the answer I gave. I have seen other castles. Well, that's actually what she said. I have seen other castles. I asked her, did you try the food? So that's a present. You see, it's difficult to get them right every time. Past simple. Did you see? Did you try the local food? I tried schnitzel. I tried pastel de nata. I have always wanted to taste a real pastel de nata, custard tart. It was one of the sweetest food experiences I've ever had. So that sentence has both it was and I have ever had. I have had. Good. So a few of the words and phrases that we learned before that we've seen in that text there, that little story. And we've seen some of the past simple, some of the present perfect tenses as well, using those wonderful words that we've learned about travel experiences. So let's have a little quiz then. Let's see if you've learned something here. I hope you have. So 10 questions. Let's see if you can get that right. Try to get 10 right. If you get a 10, give me a thumbs up and a little comment saying, I scored 10 out of 10. Is this true or false? I have visited Austria in 2019. True or false? Write your answer down or mark it on your phone somehow. I have visited Austria in 2019. True or false? The answer? False. It's I visited Austria, not I have visited Austria. Okay? The answer is false. Number 2. I traveled to Portugal last summer. True or false? True or false? I traveled to Portugal last summer. The answer? It's true. Past simple. Well done. Did you get it right? How are you doing? 1 or 2 so far? Third question, true or false? I have tried pastel de nata many times. I have tried pastel de nata many times. Is this true? Is that the right tense? Should it be past simple or present perfect? Well, the answer here is true. Correct. I have tried pastel de nata many times. How are you doing so far? 3 out of 3? Keep going. If you haven't got any right, you've still got a chance. Good, good. Let's spot the mistake and then try to correct it. So, I have went to Lisbon last year. I have went to Lisbon last year. There's a mistake there somewhere. Can you spot it? What should it be? I have went to Lisbon last year. I went to Lisbon last year. Or you could say, I have gone to Lisbon many times in the past. But I have went to Lisbon last year. It's just I went to Lisbon last year. That's the right answer. Okay, next one. How are you doing? 4 out of 4? Excellent. Question 5. She saw the Belém Tower in 2022. Sorry, that was my mistake. I'm the wrong one now. She has saw the Belém Tower in 2022. She has saw? No. What's the correct way of saying it? She has saw the Belém Tower in 2022. How do we say that? We use past simple. She saw the Belém Tower in 2022. I think I messed that one up. But if you got it right, brilliant. And the third spot mistake question. Listen up. They stayed in Vienna many times. They stayed in Vienna many times. Doesn't sound quite right, does it? What can we change to make it correct? They have stayed in Vienna many times. That's the one. So that the first sentence was past simple. The second spot the mistake sentence was past simple. And this one, present perfect. Okay, good, excellent. Now fill in the gap. Using the word visit, how can we say, what should we put in the space? I, space, Portugal 3 times. I, space, with the word visit, I, something, Portugal 3 times. Using which tense? With the word visit, I, visit, Portugal 3 times. I have visited Portugal 3 times. You see that? How we do that? So the next word is stay. How do we use stay in what tense if we're saying we in Vienna last week? So is it we have stayed in Vienna last week, or is it we stayed in Vienna last week? What do you think? Have stayed or stayed? Okay. It's stayed. We stayed in Vienna last week. Very specific. Using the word try now. Try. She, the apple strudel yesterday. So is it she has tried apple strudel yesterday? Or is it she tried apple strudel yesterday? The answer? Past simple. She tried apple strudel yesterday. A single event in the past, in a specific time. And then the last one, question 10. How are you doing? Have you been counting your correct answers? Question 10 then. The verb is fly. And we want to say he, with that verb, to Austria many times. He to Austria many times. Is it he has flown to Austria many times, or he flew to Austria many times? The answer is has flown. Yes. Question 10. Did you get them all right? Let me know. 10 out of 10 in the comment section below. So just to sum up then, this is the end of the lesson, the end of the 10 lesson series. I hope it's been useful. Today we looked at past simple, present perfect, to talk about travel experiences that you've had. And we've seen various words and vocabulary that we can use to describe these events. And so well done, excellent work. If you haven't seen the previous videos, please go back and watch them. And if you have, go back and watch them again. They're fine. You never know what new things you may learn by watching the videos again. Now the next series we're going to do is a B2 Business English series. B2 Business English. And there'll be other videos as well in the meantime. And if there's a particular topic you really want to know about, then please leave a message. I have one video pending for one of our watchers, our viewers, our subscribers. Hotel, Business English Hotel. So maybe we'll start with that one. And otherwise, please subscribe. Hit the like or the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed the lesson, and just stay tuned. Remember, no practice, no progress. Practice what you learn and you'll develop the skills. If you don't practice, you won't learn. As simple as that. But do your best. Go over the vocabulary and the grammar per this video and try to apply it in your everyday life. It doesn't have to be just about travel experiences. We can talk about work, school, the family, cooking, painting, swimming, our pets, using past simple and present perfect. So have a go. And if you have any questions, just drop us a message and Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.